Welcome, everybody. My name is Jodie Jordan, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today I got a really cute um, project for you or card for you guys that is featuring all new, brand new products that haven't even come out yet. As a demonstrator, we get to pre-order a month before everyone else so we can get our classes together and get projects together, and this is a new product here called Deckled Circles, and I love them. They're huge. The magnet sheet that you see there is over 6 by 6, and it takes up the whole space. So this is going to be a great set or a great die set to own. It's a standalone die. It doesn't come with any bundles or anything, but it's I see making bag toppers and other things. And when you see this card, you're going to want to have them. We're going to make some flowers out of the circles, but we're also going to do kind of if you attended my in-person class, we did where we put designer series paper on the back and glued it and had it be the opening part. We're going to do the same thing, except for instead of using a square, we're gonna cut out um, the designer series paper in with with these circles. So here I'm just heat embossing the sentiment, and the stamp set that I'm using for that is also new, called So Sincere. The sentiment says, "Hope your day is a happy one." Now, the majority of this stuff that today's card is not holiday. Some of the papers in the stack kind of give you Christmas vibes because it kind of one a few of the flowers kind of give you that poinsettia kind of feel. But for the most part, this paper, um, this stamp set, it's not holiday. It can be if you wanted it, but the way I did it, it's just this is an all-purpose card. This card right here is what I'm going to give away to all my customers that within their catalog. Every time I give a new catalog, I always give or make a card for them to sample or see, or I don't sign it or anything. I just give it to them as a gift for them to forward on to whoever they want. So all I'm doing here is if you're wanting to know the colors, this color is not in the colors with the in the paper. This is actually Flirty Flamingo, but one of the colors in the paper is Poppy Parade. So I am going around and I am sponging the edges in the Poppy Parade on the Flirty Flamingo pink cardstock. And I did that. At first I was doing tone on tone, and it just didn't give me um the look that I wanted. It blended in too much, and I wanted it to look like, like a layer, or like the edge of the flower. You know how the edges of the flower sometimes are darker. So I wanted it to look like that. So I went with the lighter pink cardstock. Now you could layer these layers, like do one dark, one light if you wanted, and the sky's the limit with these dies. This is my first project making or to make out of these dies, and I have so many other ideas kind of swimming around in my head. So you definitely want to tune in and see what I come up with next for those. And when you get to place your order on September 6th, you want to add these to your cart. Um, they definitely could. I don't want to say they could sell out, but they possibly could sell out because they're I know a lot of demonstrators, when they do classes, they'll buy 2 sets. During pre-order, we can only order 1, but I definitely am thinking about buying a second set, because if I do classes, I can cut more than one shape at a time um, in my die cutting machine. If you have big class, you want to cut several at a time if you can. So that's why a lot of the demonstrators buy more than one set of dies. But I'm still just kind of sponging around the edges, and I do both sides just because it does kind of flip up a little bit. You'll see I'm going to shape it. I have a shaping tool. Now, when I did this, I was originally in my head, I was thinking I was gonna do, 2 flowers, so, um, that's why I'm sponging so many, but I end up only putting in 1 flower because the flower was so big. Now, I didn't have to make the flower this big, I could have made it smaller. There was, other smaller dies. This set that the second set that I do, you can see the smallest, I'm using the smallest one. But I did this size because I wanted this sentiment to fit in the middle, um, of the flower. I actually wanted it to float on the center of the flower. Now I could have put the sentiment anywhere else, but because the we're doing like it's kind of like a little tuck fold. It's the fold is going to tuck underneath the flower. So I didn't have much more room on the card to put a sentiment somewhere else unless I directly stamped it on the cardstock. And you're going to see when we get to that point why I chose what I did, and I think you're going to like what I chose to do. Um Speaking of the holiday catalog, if you would like to request a catalog, you can join my email list and send me an email. The link is in the description below this video. I will get a catalog out to you. Also, things that are coming up, I'm doing a ribbon and a paper share. I have not got all the pricing together on that yet. I'm still working on it. I started with the ribbons. I've got all those pretty much down pat. I'm probably going to work later on today on the pricing for that. It's really based on where you live and how much it costs to ship. I kind of have to guesstimate that because the majority of my customers live right here where I live, but I have some that are out of state, so, that's gonna the pricing will vary a little bit, but well, it won't vary. I'll just pick the price and whatever if I have to pay more for shipping for someone else, I will just do that, but, so this is that, flower shaping tool that I've had. I've had this for many, many years. This was before I joined Stampin' Up! I used to go to craft fairs and I bought this there. I don't I think this company is not gonna be around anymore, so but I know there's other tools out there that you can get just like this, or you could use, really anything. You could use your bone folder or, um, even the end of your take your pick tool where the plastic, thing is over the putty end, you could use that if you wanted. This is just a whole kit that I've had for years, and, I think Heartfelt this was by Heartfelt Creations. I think they're going out of business, so you might check them out and see if you can get the tool at a discount. Last I looked, they weren't really discounting much, but, it's a family-owned business, and the mom is the one that was, I believe, designing, and the daughter was the one demonstrating, and they just decided they didn't wanna do it anymore, so, um, yeah, so that's where I got this from. So for the sentiment, I did that in the puppy parade. I'm actually flipping the sentiment over and shaping it the opposite way of the rest of the flowers, and that's just so it'll kind of like look kind of rounded and it'll fit down inside. You'll notice that when I start putting the dimensionals on. But if you think that you would like to participate in my ribbon or paper share, um, join my email list because that's how you'll get signed up for that. I'm offering both, and you can do one or the other, or you can choose to do both. It's up to you. I did a little video, the video before this one actually. It'll probably end up actually, I'll link it in the or it'll play after this one, and it shows all the papers, that we have this year and all the ribbons. That's the in my pre-order, that's what I decided to buy. I didn't do a lot of bundles and things like that. I wanted to try and figure out the whole paper share thing, so I just ordered all the papers, and I wanted to get my hands on those first. I'm planning on making another order probably later on this week to get some more products to demonstrate. But and for my classes, I'm trying to figure those out for the next month. Um, but yeah, so all I'm doing is just applying a couple dimensionals in between each layer and creating the flower. That's all I'm doing. And stacking it up. And like I said, you don't even need that second set of uh, circles there that I'm putting together. I end up not using them. But you could use them if you wanted to, or maybe you want to make two smaller flowers instead of the one big one. There is a, for the same stamp set, there's a just for you stamp that would fit on that smaller one if you wanted to do two flowers, or maybe you don't want to do the bigger one. But I just thought this was such a cool idea. So I'm just getting that finished up there. Okay, so now I'm bringing in my card base. This is just a standard card base. It's 8.5 or 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm just putting on the 4 by 5 1/4 inside panel piece. I'm doing that first to get that knocked out of the way. The paper pack is also brand new that I'm using, and it is called Garden Walk 6 by 6. This is part of a suite that you can buy. Again, I didn't get the suite yet. I just wanted to concentrate on the paper, so I haven't really gotten that far as what suites I'm gonna buy yet. But it's definitely a nice one, and you don't. It like I said, it's not. There's some of the papers in the garden walk that kind of look like Christmas, but only a few sheets. The rest of it's just florals. So I took those deckled circles, and this is the second to largest in the set, and I cut this out, and then I folded it in half, and now I'm just only gluing the back side to the cardstock. Only glue the back side. And what you're going to do is that you're going to glue down your flower and tuck that piece of paper, and the tuck is going to be how you open it. So here I'm using the timeless arrangement dies just to make leaves, and I cut the leaves out of the paper as well. I've been doing a lot of die cutting just from the paper instead of using plain cardstock, and I'm just trying to arrange this. Now you could use the bow punch. That would be a good one for creating your leaves if you didn't want to do a lot of die cutting. For this, I'm making a lot of cards, so I just stacked my paper like double and cut out two at one time because the designer series paper is thinner, so you can cut two at once. You just have to be really careful when you pull it out. Now, if you wanted to do the bow punch, it's not available right now. If you already owned it, that's great, but I don't think it's coming back in stock again until like I want to say October. I haven't looked in a while. I know one of my customers is wanting it really bad, but um, I think last time I looked, it was October. It's like a while. So, um, just because you can't get that, don't doesn't mean you can't use something else. That's what I did. I just used something else, and it looks just as great. Now, if you're trying to mass producing is always better when you have a punch versus die cutting, but this won't, like I said, if you double it up, it won't be that bad. Here I'm trying to figure out, I don't even know if I am going to continue to use this ribbon when I make the rest of my cards. At the end of the video, I'll show you one with it and one without, and you can let me know in the comments which one you like better. Or maybe if I would have like maybe unbraided this, I don't know. I wish I had like a gold, like a little gold trim or something that was um I don't know. I like it. I just on the other card that I made, I used the gold oh what are they? The pearls that I'm using are called blooming pearls and there's gold ones in there. And for the second card that I or actually it was the first card I made before I made this one, um, I didn't put any kind of, ribbon or anything behind it. Now, I will say that when you're gluing this down, you wanna make sure that you can tuck your paper, but keep your paper out of there when you're letting it dry. This glue takes a little bit longer to dry. You don't wanna risk it running onto your paper and gluing your card shut. I learned that the hard way. So, it just kind of runs a little bit, and you want to make sure you get that glued down and really well. Also, when I started originally, when I made this card, I used glue. I ended up using my tape. My Stampin' Seal, for the ones that I mass produced because I didn't want that glue seeping in because that green glue is kind of sticky even after it dries, and I don't want that to, this the designer series paper is a little bit more, it's fragile, so you don't want to risk ripping your paper if it leaks out. Now, if you're not as sloppy with the glue like I am, then you can still use the glue, but so again, these are also a new product, the Blooming Pearls, and they are really pretty. They have a really pretty shine to them. There's a um, pink with a little, I don't know, it's kind of iridescent on top, and then there's like the um, pretty peacock, and it has like a gold on top. Then there's like a all gold one, and then there's one. I'm not even sure that looks pretty peacock as well, but it looks lighter. But these are the two cards, one with the ribbon, one without. You can let me know what you think in the description below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you will come back tomorrow because I am planning the 12 Weeks of Halloween series, and that will be on Tuesdays. So see you then. Bye bye.